Guest is the former Wal-Mart USA CEO, and, wait for it, he supports the border tax. Welcome to the program, Bill Simon. I am surprised, sir. Wal-Mart, you're a former Wal-Mart guy, top guy at Wal-Mart, and you support the idea of a 20% tax on everything that comes across the border, much of which is sold in Wal-Mart stores, and you're for this tax?
Well, it's good to be with you, Stuart. Yeah, the devil's in the detail, of course, like everything. But the current tax code is structured, and the way it's structured has resulted in a massive migration of jobs, manufacturing jobs in particular, to countries outside of the U.S. And a simple restructure of the tax code to equalize the playing field would result in an expansion of U.S. manufacturing, something that I'm very, very passionate about. Now, as I said, the devil's in the detail, and the implementation would have to be very precise so that we don't unintentionally harm industries like apparel, where there's really no capability in the U.S. At this point, and retail in general would need to have some implementation period so that companies could figure out how to go forward. But it's an idea that has merit.
But your ideas are not shared by the CEOs of other major bricks and mortar retailers, are they? I mean, they're almost unanimously opposed, uniformly opposed to this.
Yeah, I understand that, and that's short-term in thinking. They're dealing with the world as they know it today, and one that they have to because of the constraints of their board and their fiduciary responsibility. But they're making their decisions based on the tax code as it's set up today. And what's being proposed is a complete reform of the tax code where the incentives to export jobs and export businesses that have existed for years would be turned around so that the incentives to build capability and jobs in the U.S. would exist. It would take them some time, and we would need an implementation period so that retail wouldn't be adversely impacted. But long term, that's where we need to go in the country.
Okay. Well, Bill, look, we're somewhat surprised that you support a border tax when most retailers do not. Let me ask you about Andy Puzder, who is no longer in line to be the Labor Secretary. He was very much opposed to the minimum wage going up to $15 an hour. He was very much opposed to the overtime rule. Where do you stand on Andy Puzder? Would you think he would have made a good Labor Secretary?
Well, I do. You know, I don't know
the
the details of his circumstances, and I'm sure he withdrew for appropriate reasons. But the minimum wage discussion is exactly the opposite of the border adjustment discussion. If you want to create a healthy, robust economic environment in the U.S., raising minimum wage in and of itself will actually be a job reduction effort. And what we really need in the U.S. is to see starting wage go up organically. And when I was at Walmart, my response would be, I would love to pay $15 an hour to start if that's what the market would bear. That would mean that the economy was growing, that we had 3 or 4% GDP growth, and labor was scarce, and I needed to pay $15 an hour. That would have meant our business would have been terrific.
If you were still the CEO of Walmart, if you're still running Wal-Mart USA, if you're still doing that, you could not say what you are saying now, could you?
No, probably not.
No, you couldn't. You couldn't. You don't have the freedom of speech. If you're the CEO of a publicly traded company, you cannot say what you think. You can't do that.
It's difficult. It's difficult, and I think CEOs try to express their views, but fundamentally they have a fiduciary responsibility to the company that they work for and their shareholders. And today, I don't have that sort of responsibility, which is why I take the opportunity to come and speak with you as often as I can.
That's why you're on this program, because you can speak your mind. You can tell us what you really think. I tell you, I don't want to digress too much. This is the key reason why I do not invite that many CEOs of publicly traded companies onto this program. You can't get anything out of them, because they can't say anything without fear of a lawsuit. It's pointless. Don't need them.
Well, I think that's right, and you know, I haven't been in that role. It's understandable. They have a responsibility to their shareholders. We're not talking about that today. We're talking about, my view, what's in the best long-term interest of the country, and we need jobs, and we need a robust manufacturing base in order to get those jobs. And I'm willing to consider everything, including a border adjustment.
And your views, bearing in mind what you used to do at Walmart, are very welcome on this program. Bill Simon, thank you, sir. We appreciate it.